Welcome back to the Basketball Operations Podcast, where we have finally hit our first 100 views on a video.
I was telling Nathan, hey, what color Tesla should we get?
I told him white because it'll pop up more. But like, it's so. I think it was last night where I was like, we were at 70.
Yeah.
And it was like, what was it, like mid-afternoon? And I was like
60, 70.
Yeah, and I was telling my mom, my sister, I'm like, I have a feeling we're gonna hit 100 either tonight or like tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I checked this morning, it's like 8 o'clock. Or I checked at 11 p.m. last night, and it was still at 70 something, like growing little by little.
Mm-hmm.
And then I checked early this morning because I had a class at 8 a.m. And I checked, it's like 100, like exactly 100. I'm like, either y'all don't sleep, or like y'all like either they don't sleep or they just saved it for watch later. So I don't know.
Someone's view body nice.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I mean, it's crazy to think.
It's crazy, yeah.
Because we were only getting like 20 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bulls one had like 50, 60. That one kind of took off. And then I guess people like the Pistons.
Yeah, y'all are bandwagon Pistons fans now. Forget cutting up.
The Cavs didn't do much.
No.
Just like real life.
Yeah. I mean, we don't blame you. I thought the Cavs would do better than the Pacers because, like, they have Evan Mobley, but it's the Cavs. It's kind of boring. Yeah. But once again, we'd like to thank you for everybody that watched, and it's still growing by like now. Like we got like I think like 5 or 6 more.
Definitely grateful for that.
Yeah, grateful. It'll really help us. Like I really do appreciate it.
It's like motivation, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this really makes you want to keep doing it.
Yeah, but especially this because this is exactly what we both thought going into this podcast when we first started, which is exactly what will get us the views because this allows us to give our input. These GM overviews to give us our input as to like how exactly we would run this team, in all different sorts of ways. So like the fact that our best video so far has been an overview, like it means a lot to us considering that you guys care about what we think, and also that we will continue to do this, and like that's just the beginning. That's just our first overview. We still have like 5 other divisions, 6 other divisions.
After this it'll be 20. We have 20 more teams.
Yeah, 20 more teams, and like if the Pistons did that well, I mean, just think about Lakers,
the
Nets,
media darling Lakers,
media darlings, all those guys. Like this overview, we're going to cover the Southeast Division. I think every single one.
How exciting!
It will be really exciting because
you got the Heat,
the Hornets, the Wizards, Orlando, and the Hawks.
Yeah,
so all those 5 teams are. Me and Maz were talking about it a couple minutes before that we're both having a hard time with certain teams because they just have so much either like really talented guys and it's just
a lot of talented pieces.
Yeah, it's just hard to understand the rotations, like who backs up who's better than who, and then also they're kind of either bottom heavy or top heavy. Mm-hmm. So it's like, are you going to let some of these go trade deadline? Are you, before the season even starts, are you going to let somebody go? So we'll see what happens. But again, I'd like to thank you for breaking our first 100. Please subscribe though. It'll mean a lot because I was looking at them like, why do we only have 37 subs?
Help us get to 50.
Yeah, 50 subs. If we get to 50
by the
subs.
End of September.
Yeah, by the end of September we get to 50 subs. It'll really help us. It'll just keep motivating us because once the season starts, it's gonna be a lot. There are gonna be a lot of headlines and everything. So we're just gonna keep going, keep rocking. So yeah, again, thank you, and let's get into the Southeast Division GM overview.
We're going with first.
We're going with the Atlanta Hawks first. Okay.
Surprising team last year.
Very surprising. I'm still surprised to this day looking at this team. How far they made it, because
no one outside Atlanta thought they were going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, I mean I thought the Knicks, when they played the Knicks the first round, it was going to be really close, like 6-7, and it could go either way.
Yeah, and then.
But I was not.
Trae Young put a stop to that.
Yeah, he owned New York, and that was one of the best first round series.
Yeah.
That we had this past playoffs. Or that first round series that I can remember, just storylines. Even though it didn't go 7, it still had a gritty.
Just like the animosity between the Trey and then like Madison Square Garden crowd.
The entire city of New York.
Yeah. He was literally a villain.
Yeah, and like I always love those villain arcs because it's just like you're just so good that you have an entire city just completely hate you. And so now for the rest of his career, when he steps on MSG, it's going to be booze and everything. He's going to get spit on again, probably.
Again.
and it's just total. So this has created a new rivalry in the NBA because now you have like
they got a Christmas game, right?
Yeah, they got a Christmas game. Yeah. So like that brings in more views, and this is what you want. This helps the NBA and helps like fans come into the building in the first place.
Yep.
So, I mean, I love it. It's just it's another rivalry that has been added. Like, there's like Lakers Clippers, there's Lakers Nets, there's Hawks Knicks, there's like Dallas Clippers.
Yeah.
I'd say, let me see, what other ones are, what other really good ones? I'd say Bucks Suns maybe turn into something.
Yeah. Bucks Nets.
Bucks Nets is gonna be a good one. So yeah, this past postseason has created like good rivalries where regular season games like you're gonna want to watch it just because like they're both playing.
One thing I want to add about the Hawks, we talk about the rivalries, but this team's still young.
Yeah,
and
really
they made the Eastern Conference Finals. So getting another year of growth and development,
it's scary.
And they brought their guys back too. John Collins.
Yeah, so as you can see here in this depth chart, Trae Young, obviously you're gonna stay. He got offered the max. He signed it. Bogdanovic, I think, still has
a year. He signed a big deal last year.
Oh, he signed the extension last year. DeAndre Hunter is still on his rookie deal. John Collins just got extended 3 weeks ago, a month ago, somewhere. Close to the max, which is good because then they have enough money to sign important people like Kevin Huerter and Reddish.
Just signed Capella the other day.
They just signed Capella yesterday to a 2-year...
like 40-something.
Yeah, pretty cheap deal for what he put up. Like he led the league in 2020s, right? Last year? I'm pretty sure. 2020 games?
Yeah.
So... And like 5 block, that's a very economical deal for Clint Capella. And then, like we said, with John Collins taking a little less than the max, it opened up for Kevin Huerter to get his contract, talk for his contract extension today, which we'll see how much that is, because Cam Reddish.
Yeah, Cam Reddish kind of like the odd man out here.
Yeah, so...
And he showed flashes in the playoffs.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Being like a two-way guy,
So we'll see how it works. But let's assume that Cam stays or they find a well enough deal to fit really like 7 guys. Because these past 7 guys, Trey, Bogdan, DeAndre, John, Clint, Kevin, and Cam literally have all been signed either this offseason. Yeah, basically this offseason. So, like, it's a lot of money to go around. And
Gallo's still on a huge deal. Yeah.
Lou Williams, I think, is still on,
this is last year.
His last year on it.
You got Onyeka. If you become something, you're going to have to sign him.
Yeah, so, I mean, for this team... cap space haunts them, but talent-wise, like obviously we saw the potential. I think again, it just came down to youth at the end of the day against the Bucks because I mean they had a chance. They went to 6, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean you were 1 game away from being a 50-50.
And they beat the Sixers.
They beat the Sixers. They made Ben Simmons not want to play in Philadelphia anymore.
They sent him to the West Coast.
I saw a meme that was like, I want to play for a California team. Isn't it that baby one? You know the baby one where like comes out, it's like, where am I?
Sacramento.
He's gonna end up going to freaking Sacramento. But we'll get to Sixers later because there's like a bunch of Ben Simmons talk going on like today and yesterday. But so yeah, I mean, I think you run the same. I think everything works the same, especially since it's the same exact team as last year. You're just adding Sharif Cooper, and Jalen Johnson is supposed to be under Gallinari.
And Mavs legend DeLon Wright.
And yeah, Mavs legend DeLon Wright. So, you know me, I love me some DeLon Wright. But we'll see.
He led me astray.
We'll see how it works, because I think Sharif Cooper definitely deserves minutes. It's just that we'll see whether.
I think he's gonna be behind Lou Will and DeLon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna be like, he'll be like the third guy off the bench.
Because the thing is also with this team, is that they have no defense in the backcourt.
Yeah.
Like Trey's too small. Sharif is literally a carbon copy. DeLon Wright,
he's like their best backcourt defender.
Yeah, Lou Williams too small. Kevin Porter was got like.
They're top heavy at the wing.
Yeah. Yeah. Defensively, and then Bogdan, like, he can defend, but it's just it's average. Yeah. So, are you gonna ask DeAndre Hunter to guard 5 guys at a time? Exactly. Like, it's just not. It's the guard, but I think they make it up for the offense anyway. And just funneling things through to Clint and John, because they're both high flyers. So I think they stay the same. Who's the coach now?
Nate McMillan.
Nate McMillan, right? So I think he's gonna have the same play style.
It's a full season of him now.
Yeah.
Remember, he got hired halfway through the year.
Which is what we said a couple episodes ago. We're like, they only had Nate McMillan for half a season, and they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. So who knows what they do with the full season?
Yeah, they're doing pretty bad early on. So
horrible.
Full season.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely potential to finish higher than they did last year.
So I mean, the minutes are probably going to stay the same for the starting 5, because I do like the starting 5. The starting 5 has shooting at the point guard, playmaking at the point guard, more shooting at the 2, defense and shooting at the 3. Because DeAndre Hunter, I don't know if people know this, but he's like he's the Mikal Bridges of this team.
Yeah.
And like he's bigger and can defend, has a better chance against like Kawhi or Paul George, because they're practically the same size. John Collins.
Only thing I'm worried about DeAndre is the knee injury.
Yeah.
So I was like, is his lateral quickness still going to be there? That's the only thing that worries me.
John.
Oh, he's an alright defender.
He's an alright defender.
Offensively, catching lobs, shooting the ball. He's what you want from your 4 in this era.
Yeah, which is what you want. It's his job. He understands his role, even for somebody that asks for the max.
I mean, if you want to say, he might be one of the most important pieces of the offense.
Yeah.
He's the one setting the high pick and roll for Trey. He's catching the lobs. He's able to space out into the corner. And then you add Clint Capella, who's their defensive stalwart. Everything's going to him. Yeah. Boards. Great rim runner, too. I mean, he was doing it with James Harden. Now he's doing it with Trae Young. So.
Yeah. And it's just...
it's a very balanced team.
It's balanced. I really do like it. Offensively, but again, defensively, they're just really front court heavy.
That's the only area of the backcourt defense.
Yeah, but I mean... If you think about it, I mean that's the reason why they lost to the Bucks in the first place, because Drew is just too big, and he got the switch on Horder or Trae Young every time.
And that's the problem. You're gonna have to disguise these. You're gonna have to hide these guys on defense. And when that happens, that's where you run into issues. Yeah. Like the Bucks, they didn't really have to hide anybody on defense.
Because they're so big all around. But yeah, defensively, it worries me for playoffs again, because they're definitely a playoff team again. They're probably I'd say 4th seed, like ceiling, and then floor is 6th.
Over under 55 wins.
I think under, but just under, just under,
53?
50, yeah, 50 in the 55 range. Considering again Nate McMillan's full season with them, Trae Young is gonna be Trae Young. He might average 30 and 10, because
he's gonna be
something crazy.
He's gonna be 28 and 10 again, like he has been.
Something crazy. Bogdan, I think he's gonna continue his shooting. He shot okay in the playoffs, from what I remember. He shot okay. He's just a good scorer. He's a streaky shooter. So once everything opens up,
he could put the ball in the hoop. I'm jealous that they have.
Yeah. So because Trae Young is literally like a focal point, but then if you focus too much, then you have Bogdan at the 2 at the wing who can score and put the ball on the floor and create too. DeAndre Hunter, who is starting to develop a Kawhi-like mid-range game.
Yeah.
John Collins, who's just going to go in the corner, and then you have Clint Capella, who is your vertical threat. But the bench is where I have questions with this team, because Sharif Cooper.
I don't think he's gonna be the first guy off the bench.
I put him there because I feel like McMillan might
let him loose, you know.
At some point so that way come playoff time they have a reliable scorer, because coming off the bench last year it was just Lou and Horder pretty much until they got Cam like halfway through the what was I gonna say? Through the series?
I think what's gonna happen, they're probably gonna stagger DeLon and Lou Will's minutes at the 1 off the bench. They're gonna have Kevin Huerter, either Cam Reddish and DeAndre splitting up time at the wing position, and then Gallo, who pretty much does the things John Collins does shooting wise. He's not the lob threat at all or plays defense.
No, not at all.
So if you look at their lineup, their secondary guys, they kind of mimic a little bit of what their starting lineup does.
You're right.
So
you're right. That is right. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So teams can never really get a break. I don't know if Sharif Cooper plays that many minutes. I think it goes to Lou Will. Onyeka got playoff minutes last year.
He did get playoff minutes.
That's probably very valuable to his development.
Yeah.
Might see him become like a Clint Capella light next year.
Yeah, we'll see. Because,
rookie year Onyeka, at the beginning, he kind of, you could tell he was a little raw. He wasn't adjusted to the game yet.
No.
I mean, obviously, he developed enough that they trusted him in the playoffs.
Yeah, and because of the injury.
Yeah.
Too, that he suffered, that he didn't come back to, half or, 2/3 of the season.
Yeah.
So, I didn't see that before, but you're right. Yeah, Sharif basically plays like Trae. Horder can shoot like Bogdan. Cam Reddish can shoot and defend like DeAndre Hunter. Gallinari can shoot like John Collins and has the same size, but obviously can't defend. And Onyeka can defend like Clint. It's just like a Clint light. And then you have solid pieces like
Solomon Hill.
Depending on the situation, Solomon Hill can go out there and defend a 1 or 2.
You need a big bruiser to put on the wing. Go ahead.
You need somebody to take an ankle. You put in Solomon Hill.
Yeah. The Laker fans aren't gonna like that one.
You need somebody to take an ankle. You put in Solomon Hill. You need more buckets off the bench. You put in Lou Will. If you need just another playmaking for 8-10 minutes, you put in DeLon Wright.
Gorgie Jang's not playing.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Unless one of those guys gets hurt, but I have a hard time seeing that.
Do you think somebody gets moved in this lineup? If let's say they start 10 and 10 at 500 after 20 games, or do you think they start panicking a little bit?
I mean, you could probably move Herter to the starting 2 if that happens. If Bogdan, if he isn't living up to what his price tag is. But the thing I see happening the most is maybe at the deadline, before the extension deadline, they move on from Cam Reddish and they get maybe a couple picks, maybe another guy on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure teams like the idea of Cam Reddish on the team.
I think I think a lot of people do.
That's something the Hawks have to think about. It's well, do we let him go for nothing?
Yeah.
Or do we get something?
Yeah. Because I think for this type of team, I don't think you can take Cam Reddish and somebody else on this team and then get back somebody that can fill in both roles, because you'll have those spots missing. So I think in this case, if Cam Reddish gets moved, it'll most likely be on him for another guy who's an established veteran that can do what he does, but can also play make a little bit and defend 1s and 2s and a pick or something.
And especially the way Cam Reddish played towards the end of the playoffs, he started really showing what he could be. I don't think Cam Reddish is going to want to stick behind DeAndre Hunter for too long.
No.
He's not going to want to, take a backseat in money.
No.
He wants to get paid.
Yeah, and then right now, he's not better than DeAndre. I don't think he is.
Or do you start him at the 2, but move Bogdan to the bench?
I don't know, because it depends on whether Bogdan likes coming off the bench, which he's shown.
He's done it before.
And
that'd be a scary lineup.
I think he said he kind of likes it.
Yeah, because he
gets his own unit.
He gets to go against the second unit.
Mm-hmm.
He just gets to be a flamethrower.
Yeah.
And that helped the Hawks a little bit more because you put another defender, a positive plus defender, next to Trae Young, and it makes it easier to hide him.
Yeah. So
that's a lot of wingspan if you put Cam Reddish at the 2.
Yeah, they have a lot of wingspan. They have a lot of wingspan from spots 3 to 4, but the 3 spot will allow them to mix allow for hiding of Trae Young, because I think defensively their goal is to, like, if Trae Young's on the floor and they're spotting for him, hide him as much as possible, and that's why they got Cam Reddish in the first place, because I think that's what they were expecting anyway. And DeAndre Hunter, obviously.
That second unit, if you drop Bogdan down, it'd be like Lou Will, Herder, Bogdan, Gallo, Onyeka. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we saw a little bit of in the playoffs.
It's solid.
Just full offense. Just go full offense. Keep scoring points, and then let your dogs get back in. And, I mean, I could see that working.
It's solid. And then, like, defensively, to add more height and to add, like, I think the primary defensive lineup would probably be DeLon, because he's just bigger. So, like, just put him out there. Bogdan, because he's just bigger. I mean, or you can put Cam there, like you said, at the 2, DeAndre at the 3, John at the 4, and then Clint at the 5. Like, you'll lose obviously the shooting and playmaking with DeLon, but it'll just like make it hell for the other team with wingspan.
And then I'm pretty sure they'll go back to the lineup they used where they went Trae, Bogey, DeAndre, John, and then Gallo.
Oh, yeah.
So all shooting, just space it out.
Yeah. I like that lineup.
Because then at that point, you switch John Collins as the lob threat, and he's still able to shoot. And then you add Gallo to space out the floor even more. Like, it's just...
When I saw it...
They have a lot of routes they could go.
Yeah, when I saw it, I really liked that lineup. And, I mean, we're forgetting about him because he's not on here, but Jalen Johnson did well in the Summer League. So we'll see if he gets minutes at all, because... Obviously, John and Gallo are better than him right now.
Yeah.
So who knows if he gets it? Honestly, they can do without Sharif and Jalen Johnson right now. Like, the pieces are there. So it's just really up to Nate McMillan's giving them minutes. I believe that Jalen will get a blowout minutes.
I think he'll get some run at 3 or the 4. Maybe spot rotation minutes.
But like rotation, like actual rotation minutes, or like scrum minutes?
Not like consistent. Like maybe they'll throw him in here for like a 12 minutes a game.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's not gonna be consistent. Like,
so he's situational.
Yeah, like a situational.
Okay, so yeah, I agree with that.
It may be depending on the matchup that day.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like Jalen will probably match up well, because he's what, like 6'9", like 2 something.
I mean, Danilo's getting kind of old, so if he gets hurt, someone goes down.
That is true. Yeah.
He's right there.
It's just the shooting. You lose shooting with him on the floor.
But he's more of a playmaker.
Yeah.
Getting to the hole.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what situations you'd put him in. Like what matchups would you have him in? Like, who could he put? Because again, he's still a rookie. So I don't. It might. Especially with good 4s like Giannis and like KD. Yeah. Like, I don't know if he'll get exposed.
I don't know if you want to throw him out there yet.
Yeah, not yet. Or I think he'd be better. He'd be better at the 3, or if he shows great lateral quickness and like they see defensive potential, you just put him out there at the 2.
I think he might come on as like a lob threat.
Yeah, because he can jump out the gym.
And then his playmaking is just like a plus.
A plus.
Capella doesn't have that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's
small ball 5.
Yeah, there are a lot of lineups you can do with this team.
They have a lot of young talent.
Yeah, it's just, again, the money is the scary thing for this team.
And that's the good thing and the bad thing of having a lot of young talent.
Yeah, because if it all pans out. And it's kind of funny because if you think about it, obviously this is going to be attached to this team and the Mavericks is the Luka trade thing, because Luka is having Mark Cuban is having a hard time trying to find pieces around him. And, like, who knows if they didn't trade. This is perfect for him, for Luka.
But I mean, we got Luka.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
I'm not losing sleep.
No, yeah, but like, the thing is, I look at this team and I'm like, for Luka, this is better than having to find him a second guy. So, I mean, I think they would have, if you put Luka on this team last year, I think they go to the same place because I don't think they're beating the Bucks like with Luka or without.
No.
I don't know, but I mean,
give Luka John Collins.
But then they're gonna spot him with they're gonna try to find him anyway. They're gonna hide Luka because Luka's
Luka's more capable of playing.
Luka's bigger, but
I mean, like he's a solid defender. I'll send you some highlights.
You send me some highlights. He's like a
I'll send you the
C- defender.
He's a B-.
He's like a C.
He's a +6 guy.
No, I keep forgetting he's a +6 guy.
7'2" wingspan. As soon as he puts his body on you, you're not going many places.
So yeah,
you're gonna be breathing heavy,
bruh,
when he puts that belly on you.
But yeah, I really like this team. There's a lot of big and small lineups that you can run. Defensive, offensive lineups that we've seen already that I think they're going to continue to run. Again, money is the big question, and because the money thing, because can you keep Cam Reddish in the first place? Does he want to go somewhere if you can't give him the money he wants? And for what you will get in return? And two, you're banking on player development. Will somebody take a dip down? Will somebody have a year? But I think they're already at the point where it's just like sophomore slumps don't exist anymore. Like Trey's going in his third, I think, or fourth, right?
Fourth year, yeah.
Fourth. John Collins is going in his fourth too. Fifth. Okay. DeAndre Hunter's going in his third.
Yeah.
So there's no sophomore slumps here at all or nothing. So again, just more player development
I think DeAndre Hunter's going to second year, isn't it?
Second
Second or third? Third. What's Cam Reddish going into?
His second. It's with Zion. He's with Zion. He's the same class as Zion. So third.
Third. Hunter is going into his.
Was he in the same class as John?
Was he? No, he was after John.
No, so third too. So they're in the same class, I guess.
Was it? Let me check.
I don't remember. But anyway.
Yeah.
There's no sophomore slumps here. So it's like you're just banking on player development of like, can somebody do something that they didn't do last year? Is basically what is going to happen to this team. I'm excited for this team. Before the Hawks were kind of just a franchise that was like just kind of there, and then they got like one season.
He's going his third year.
His third, okay. Then they're going into then they have like one season where like they're kind of there, but then like the Hawks have always been a team that kind of hang around.
They've always been solid, but they just had LeBron in their conference.
Yeah, and then now they don't, and they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, but now they have to do with Brooklyn and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I like this team a lot, though. And again, in the addition subtractions, I mean, Sharif Cooper and Jalen Johnson are the only guys you can that'll have impact. And then the subtractions, they didn't lose anybody, which is a good thing. But who knows? Cam Reddish might be here. This is TBA, so it's TBD.
Yeah, to be discussed.
Not needs to be discussed. So yeah, I like this team. So leave down in the comments if you think Cam Reddish will leave, or if you think they'll try to trade him for somebody. Your predictions on like where this team will end up, and yeah. So yeah,
they'll go to the second round this year, but they'll lose there.
They'll go to the second round?
Yeah, but they're going to lose in the second round.
To who? Is that really how good? Okay, yeah, you're right.
They're going to lose to Indiana.
Out of all teams, Indiana. So yeah,